Track 2.12. Angry, bored, embarrassed, excited, scared, happy, nervous, sad, worried. Track 2.13. Alone at Sea.
Deborah and Andrew Veal entered a 3,000-mile rowing race across the Atlantic from Tenerife to Barbados. There were 34 other rowing teams. They started the race together, but after 2 weeks, Andrew left the race because he was scared of the ocean. Deborah didn't want to stop the race, and she decided to continue. She rowed the remaining 2,290 miles alone. The journey took 113 days. Deborah arrived in Barbados 70 days after the winning team, but for most people, she was the hero of the race. The editor of the Times wrote, "The winner of the race is the girl who came last."
Track 2.14.
Welcome to this week's edition of Heroes. Today, we have the popular TV presenter, Nancy B., in the studio. Nancy, hello and welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Nancy, who is your hero and why?
My hero is Deborah Veal because she rowed across the Atlantic alone.
Alone? That's amazing. Why did she do it?
Well, she started a transatlantic race with her husband, Andrew. But he left after 2 weeks. He was scared of the ocean.
I see. Was she angry when Andrew left?
No, she wasn't angry. She was relieved when he left. She just wanted him to be happy.
Was it difficult for Deborah to continue the journey alone?
Yes, it was difficult for her to sleep. She was worried about big ships. Some ships are huge, and she was in a very small boat.
Did she have any bad experiences?
Yes, she was scared of sharks. One night, there was a very big shark under the boat, but it wasn't interested in her. It was only interested in eating the fish under the boat.
I understand that Deborah finished the race 70 days after the winners. How did she feel about that? Was she embarrassed?
No, she wasn't embarrassed about it. She was just happy about finishing the race.
Well, that's an incredible story. Nancy, thank you so much. Deborah Veal is an inspiration. Next week, we'll be talking to the...
Track 2.15. A. I'm worried about my future. B. I'm never angry with my friends. C. I'm scared of snakes. D. I'm not interested in modern art. E. I'm not embarrassed about my English. Point 16. I want to be alone.
Greta Garbo was a Hollywood star in the 1920s and 1930s. She was born in Sweden in 1906. Her real name was Greta Gustafsson. Her father died when she was 14, so she left school and got a job. She worked as a model for newspaper advertisements. When she was 17, she went to theater school. She met Moritz Stiller, a top Swedish movie director, and he gave her a part in one of his movies. He also gave her the name Garbo. In 1925, when Stiller moved to Hollywood, Garbo went with him. She later became an American citizen. In Hollywood, Garbo made 27 movies and got 4 Academy Award nominations. In 1932, in the movie Grand Hotel, she said the famous line, "I want to be alone." Garbo was not a typical Hollywood star. She was very private. She never spoke about her love affairs, and she didn't give interviews to the press. Many people fell in love with Garbo, and she had several serious relationships. But she never got married, and she didn't have any children. When she was 36, Garbo retired. She moved to New York, changed her name to Harriet Brown, and lived the rest of her life there, alone. She died in 1990 at the age of 84.
2.17.
Greta Garbo was born in Sweden. She left school at 14 and worked as a model. When she was 17, she went to theater school. Soon after, she moved to Hollywood and made 27 movies. She didn't get married, and she didn't have children. She retired when she was 36. She died in New York in 1990.
Track 2.18. A. Did you go to elementary school near here?
Yes, I did.
No, I didn't.
B. Did you walk to school?
Yes, I did.
No, I didn't.
C. Did you move when you were a child?
Yes, I did.
No, I didn't.
D. Did your father leave school at 16?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
E. Did your mother study English at school?
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
F. Did your parents go to college?
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
19. A. No. New. Mean. Meant. Tear. Tore. Speak. Spoke. Think. Thought. B.
Break. Broke. Fly. Flew. Spend. Spent. Teach. Taught. Wear. Wore.
Track 2.20.
New. Flew. Meant. Spent. Tore. Wore. Spoke. Broke. thought, taught.
Track 2.21.
I don't know where to go on vacation this year. Where did you go for your last summer vacation?
I went to the beach, to Miami, in Florida.
Oh, wow. When did you go there?
In July.
Nice. Who did you go with?
I went alone. I always go on vacation alone.
Oh, okay. How did you get there?
I went by plane and by car. I flew from Chicago to Orlando, and then I drove from Orlando to Miami. There's a really good highway.
Great. Where did you stay?
In a hotel. The Hurricane Hotel. Do you know it?
No. What's it like?
Fantastic. The rooms are wonderful, and it's near the beach.
You are lucky. How long did you stay?
Just 2 weeks, unfortunately.
Oh, well. So, what did you do all day?
I went to the beach, of course. You can do everything there. I tried kite surfing. It's amazing.
Wow. And what did you do in the evening?
I went out to the bars and clubs. There's a lot to do in Miami.
And did you meet anyone nice?
Well, yes, I did actually. He's a windsurfing instructor, and the first time we went out, he took me to his private.
Track 2.22. 1.
I'm thirsty.
Me too. Let's have a cup of coffee.
Coffee? No thanks. I'd like a beer.
2.
I'm bored.
Why don't you read a book?
A book? No thanks.
3.
I'm hungry. Is it lunchtime?
No, it's 11:30. Why don't you eat some fruit?
No thanks. Do you have any chocolate?
No, it's 11:30. Why don't you eat some fruit?
No thanks. Do you have any chocolate?
4.
I'm tired.
Me too. Let's stay at home tonight.
Good idea. There's baseball on TV.
Ugh.
Track 2.23. A.
I'm thirsty.
B.
Let's have a cup of coffee.
C.
I'm bored.
D. Why don't you read a book? E.
I'm hungry.
F.
I'm tired.
G.
Me too.
Track 2.24. A.
I'm bored.
Why don't you go out with your friends? B.
I'm hungry.
Why don't you have a snack? C.
I'm tired.
Me too. Let's watch a DVD tonight. D.
I'm hungry.
Why don't you have an early lunch? E.
I'm thirsty.
Me too. Let's have coffee. F.
I'm bored.
Why don't you play on your computer?